and welcome to this training session about the Juice Plus Premium Capsules. My name is Sue Oldreive. I'm the Product Quality Manager for the Juice Plus company. And the purpose of this session today is to have a quick run through about the Premium Capsules, and by that I mean the fruit, veg and berry capsules that we have in our range. In this session we will cover a little bit about the ethos behind these products, the ingredients that they contain. We'll focus a bit around the messaging and what you can say and some things to avoid saying about them, and also how they can be taken and who they are suitable for use by. And finally, I'll give you a little bit of a reference to where you can find additional information to support you beyond just this session today. So let's get started. What are the Juice Plus Premium Capsules? Well, they are three different types of capsules. We've got the fruit, the veg and the berry capsules, and they are food supplements. So they are designed to support a healthy diet and lifestyle and potentially bridge the gap between what we are doing with our diets and what we should be doing. So sometimes there's a bit of a gap there, and we can use our Juice Plus supplements as a way to bridge that gap, a kind of insurance policy. So what do they contain? Well, they're built on this ethos of the importance of having plenty of fruit and vegetables in your diet. And this was a recommendation that came out 30 or more years ago, and is one that we see reflected in recommendations from global organisations such as the World Health Organization, and also at local level within our individual countries. And messages like 5 or more portions of fruit and veg a day are ones that we should all hopefully now be quite familiar with. So how do our capsules fit with that? Well, that was the ethos behind their original development back in the 1990s. And we have also embraced our additional ethos of whole food, plant-derived, minimally processed nutrition to put these capsules together. And that's putting together the 30 different types of fruit and vegetables that go into the capsules, along with selected vitamins and plant nutrients. So that's what makes up the content of our capsules. So I mentioned our ethos of whole food, plant-derived, minimally processed. So let's look at what that means. By whole food, we mean that we take the whole of the fruit and vegetable wherever possible. Now, when we talk about, for example, an orange, when we eat an orange, we will potentially eat the fleshy parts, or we may juice the orange and just have the juice. Within the Juice Plus fruit capsules, where we have orange present, we actually use not just the juice and the flesh, but also the rind of the orange as well. So we dry it all, and that's what forms the orange powder that's used in that capsule. And that's because all the different parts of the fruit bring different phytonutrients with them, and we want to try and capture all of that. For the same reason, we use this variety of 30 different types. They're spread across the three capsules, so please take a look at the label and you can see which ones are in which product. But that provides this kind of orchestra effect from the variety of fruits and vegetables. Now, I mentioned also minimally processed, and that means that yes, we have to use some heat to dry the fruits and vegetables to the powders that we use, but we try and use the minimum amount of heat required to end up with maximum quality of our finished powders, and that's really important for us. And the final thing I mentioned was plant-derived nutrition. Now, obviously I've talked about the 30 different fruits and veg. We also have added vitamins that are coming from originally from plant-derived ingredients, and of course we've got these plant nutrients too. And the whole of them are encapsulated in a capsule that is from plant-derived sources. So it's actually a substance called pullulan that is made through fermentation of tapioca starch. So the whole product put together is suitable for vegans and can be used alongside any dietary choices of the consumer. So I've talked quite a lot there about some of the ingredients and the ethos behind them. And I've mentioned that we've got 30 different types of fruit and veg in there. We will never equate our capsules to a number of portions of fruit or veg though, and hopefully through what I've been saying you'll hear that they're to be used alongside a healthy diet and lifestyle and not as a replacement for one. And that's one of the reasons why we don't want people to think of our capsules as a portion or 2 portions or however many of fruit and veg. An additional part is, of course, that there will be some clever people out there who would think, if, say, for example, 2 capsules were 1 portion, I'll take 10 capsules and then I'll be done with my 5 a day. And of course, that's not a pattern of behaviour we want to encourage. We want to encourage a varied diet where Juice Plus Premium Capsules provide additional support. So there are some other interesting characteristics that it's useful to mention about our capsules, which will be important to some of our customers. So I've mentioned that they're vegan, but they are also gluten-free, which can be important to some consumers. When we look at other allergens, clearly people can have susceptibility to different types of ingredients, and some of those can be quite personal to the individual. So it's always important, if you have a customer who's asking about suitability with different allergies, it's always important to encourage them to read the label. The ingredients list on the label will give information on every ingredient that's there, so the customer can make an informed choice about the suitability of that product for them with their particular condition or need to avoid certain ingredients. So when we talk about our premium capsules, we do talk about them being food supplements that contain powders from 30 different fruits, veg and berries with added vitamins and plant nutrients. We can also make reference to the fact that they have now been around and in use for over 25 years, and they are supported by over 40 published research papers that look at their use in humans and the way the nutrients are absorbed and made bioavailable, and also some impacts on markers of health. But when we're talking about our capsules, it's really important to recognise the fact that, we all have a lot of enthusiasm and we all have our own experience that we want to share. But at the same time, we also need to kind of be a bit mindful of the fact that there are regulations that limit the way in which we can talk about our capsules. So we can talk about bridging the gap. We can talk about what they contain. We can talk about them being a great addition to a healthy diet and lifestyle. When we talk about specific health effects, we can only do that in relation to the vitamins that are present. And that's because of these European regulations. So, for example, we can say that Juice Plus capsules contain vitamins C and E, and vitamins C and E help protect cells from oxidative stress. Now, please don't feel that you have to remember this. There are fact sheets that have now been made available for you all, and I think they will be available through this convention too. And those list the claims that can be used in relation to our premium capsules. So just be mindful of that and use the fact sheets as a reference point if you have any doubt or concerns about whether you're saying the right thing or not. Now, finally, I wanted to come on to using the capsules. Now, the instructions for use are included on the label. They're quite simple, so have a look at those and then follow those. They detail the recommended daily dose and also how and when to take them. For adults, the recommendation is 2 capsules per day. Now, when it comes to children, clearly that's up to the parents to decide if they want to give the capsules and how they want to give them. So parental choice applies, but there are some logical things to take into account. Firstly, the size of the capsule. If you're considering giving your capsules to children, please make sure the child is old enough to actually be able to swallow the capsule. And we, from experience, would normally say that's from about 6 years. Now, clearly, anyone who has trouble swallowing capsules can always choose to open them up and sprinkle the contents onto a suitable food, or mix the content into a smoothie. Again, going back to this conversation about with children, again, remember that children tend to be smaller than us until about early teens, so consider whether, if you're going to use the capsules, maybe using a half dose. For women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, clearly this is quite a sensitive time. And as with any dietary choices during that period, it's really important to make sure you get the input from your healthcare professional, so midwife or doctor. So we would say take along a copy of a label and just discuss your dietary changes and plans for use of Juice Plus capsules with them before starting. But we do have a long history of use with that group of the population. Finally, for people who are on medication or who have specific medical condition, we at Juice Plus are experts on our products. We know them inside out. We are not experts on an individual's medical conditions or medication. The individual has that responsibility. So it's really important that we support that individual by giving them information about the ingredients and the characteristics of our capsules. And that can be through using the information on the label or through contacting customer and franchise support teams if you need additional information, so that the customer can use that information to make a decision about whether it fits with their condition or medication. And we would always advise them to have those discussions with their healthcare practitioner, taking along the information we have provided about the product so they get to make the best choice for them. So that brings me really to the end of my whistle-stop tour through Juice Plus Premium Capsules. I did mention at the beginning about resources, and you will have heard me mention labels, so please do take a look at them. There's a lot of useful information on them. And also the product fact sheets, which will be available through this convention too. I hope you've enjoyed the session, that you found it useful, and that you enjoyed the rest of the convention this weekend. Thank you.